Hello there and welcome to Theros. It'll have been roughly a week by the time this video is going up since the set came out, at least on Arena. It's officially not out until Friday on paper, so I guess this is a sort of a release video of to celebrate the release of Theros Beyond Death. We finally get to play Brawl, since I still have made my points clear on where I stand with regards to the Guild Hall. So I'm pretty much still just playing on Wednesdays. And with that in mind, I've finally got around to being able to play the decks that I've been building. I've had quite a bit of time brewing and getting things ready to play, with a mix of new decks and improving old decks that I've had ready to go, that I just have a few additions here and there that I wanted to make. So it seems fitting, given that one of my last videos was about how I thought that this deck, a Grimtail, would improve with Theros. And so I figured it's probably the best one to start with here. So Konrad the Grim. When creatures die or are put into the graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or leave my graveyard, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then I can pay to put cards from the top of my library into the graveyard. Oh, sorry, each library into the graveyard. So, struggled a lot in the last standard Brawl, from just dying as soon as he hit the field and having very little impact. I hoped that some of the escape cards and the extra graveyard mechanics and whatnot would give Konrad enough of a benefit to make it work a bit better, especially with things like Nyx Lotus and Grey Merchant of Asphodel, to play into the fact that we're mono-black and taking advantage of devotion to its fullest. So I've gone back to being a lot more creature heavy. Not quite the same extreme as the original build, and still with a fair bit of removal. However, with some of the creatures that we're able to recur from graveyard, we can afford to do it a bit more. So, to start off, Maya Triton has made it in here. It is able to mill me for 2 cards, so and is a Death Toucher, which can just disincentivize attacking so much. So, solid blocker on its part there. I then have Woe Strider, so I can sacrifice creatures to scry. It can escape, and escapes with 2+1/+1 counters on it, so it can be a big body. It allows me to sacrifice creatures for value, and it creates a goat that at the very least is a blocker. Then we have Altar of the Pantheon and Nyx Lotus as additional rocks. Altar is, I believe, just replacing the Geode at the moment, since it technically is the same mana cost. I don't get the scry, yes, but the increased devotion does at least matter somewhat for some of the effects like Erebos and Grey Merchant. And yeah, so then we've got Erebos, who is another way of drawing cards. Being able to constantly draw cards is beneficial, and once again is another sack outlet, and has a really good body if you're able to make him a creature. Varika's Spawn, it's another escape card we've got access to, and is able to sacrifice things. So those are my main 2 escape cards there, that I think are the only escape cards that I put in. But they should hopefully be enough. I don't want to overcommit to it, since I then have to get a lot into graveyard. Nightmare Shepherd made it in, just so that I can, as I think I mentioned in that video as well, Konrad, if they're on the field at the same time, Konrad dies, yeah, I can make a token copy with the Shepherd, so I then don't have to immediately cast Konrad again, since it's his effect that I mainly want. His body is nice, but just having his effect down is what I'm really after. And then finally, it's Grey Merchant. Yeah, if I've got a lot of creatures down with a lot of black mana in their mana costs, it's suddenly quite an explosive amount of life gain, and can swing the game quite rapidly, that Konrad should then hopefully be able to finish off with the rest of the incremental drain from it. So yeah, those are the main inclusions, and I think Field of Ruin is the one other card that's stuck in here, just because Field of the Dead is still a card that exists. It's still legal in Brawl, and I want to have an answer to that, since it can kind of go insane. And also, since we're mono-black, you know, blowing up an opponent's land and screwing them out of a colour, or multicolours for mana fixing, is a bit better, and then we just fetch a swamp with it anyway, so we're not too much of a loss with running it. So, there's the deck. There's the build that I've put together following my review of the cards. Here's hoping that it's able to perform better than it did previously. Let's get some games. Alright, well, as the new Aetherios, I'm already not liking this. It's a good keep. So yeah, end step, counter on a creature. When it dies, respond to exile, return to the battlefield and flipping. It's such a powerful effect. This is going to go horribly, horribly wrong for my deck. Oh wow, rude. Roast Rider gives me another goat. I think I'm fine with this being killed first, so I'll drop that first. Also gives me a scry. Prison Realm. This is not a good start. What am I drawing? Castle Lochthwain. Gets me to 5 lands, and that can then start drawing me cards. I'm going to make a discard a card though. That's more exile removal. Okay. Konrad. And they do have the Executioner, which can remove one of these threats. And it doesn't intend to do so. The question is which one. Oh, they can get rid of both. This is a good question. Graveyard. Let's risk it. Okay, so well, I get to keep my Eternal Taskmaster. Which is good for me. I can now Farrak's Spawn. It goes from graveyard to hand. So I've got 6 mana. Nightmare Shepherd can't do it again. We'll get Konrad back next turn. Digging for their land. So they want to get Aetherios down and start taking my stuff. Ah. Ooh. Yeah, you can create a soldier, you can block Konrad. Don't have mana to draw a card, they do take damage from that. There's sacrifice creature to do that. And there's their land. Ooh.
If I were you, I'd just surrender right now.
It's a creature. Another point of damage.
Let's reduce
Command zone this time. Draw some cards. It's not the most promising. Non-golden creature. Let's get Konrad back out. They can now realm float. They can also do that.
rise and shine.
Yay, Gary! So that would be 3, 4, 5 with Gary. So I could then... let's Farrakhan's spawn, because I think I can get lethal with this if I get rid of 3 creatures. So Konrad the Grim, first game, victory. Already a good start. Whew. And 3 of the cards that I added actually put in work. Yeah. I expected there to be a lot of gods popping up. Yeah. Turn 5 they start popping off. Well, turn 6 they start popping off. Nothing really here to do anything about that. It's arguably worse. Taste of Death actually could be useful if they make their Perforos creature. Field of the Dead and mono red. Okay, Ayara. There's Kandra.
Living in a monastery full of firebrands? So go get him, buddy.
And they're a boss. So do I Ayara? See what they do. Yeah, I guess so. Don't really want to wait another turn to do nothing. Yep. And then they get to hit me for 2.
Say hi to my fiery friends.
I'm glad I keep drawing stuff. Lands, because at this rate I might actually be able to get Taste of Death if they're able to get a bit more devotion down to get rid of Perforos. There's the devotion they need.
Say hi to my fiery friends.
Ah, that feels bad. Okay, so I can Konrad, and then that will die to Taste of Death. Cavalier of Night, which doesn't do anything at the moment. Can bring back Iara when that dies though. Gary drains for 3. I'll do this, because if they do get down Perforos and take their time to do that, Taste of Death will get a bit more damage in. Yep, Konrad is technically human. So that does indeed work. And then those both sacrifice, and then I take 2. It loses all abilities. Okay, that's fine. Well, now they've got 3 creatures, so I'm not going to be able to... Yes. Put that back on top. I'm not going to be able to hit anything else at this point. Until those things are gone. Which is a shame. Theros.
Don't worry. I got it.
Okay. So, do I Ugin plus, or just blow up Chandra? They've got 2 cards left in hand. Playing something with Perforos does have to get rid of it. Ugin's probably going to die, but this does let me get rid of Chandra and stop getting things from that. Ilhag being cast is fine by me. Because I can then... Oh wait, yeah, Perforos gives everything haste, so less fine. Significantly less fine. But they've not got anything in hand, which is good to know. Oh, you keep this the wrong way around. Well, hey, I can now attack with Erebos. Next turn, hopefully I Cavalier. Okay, I don't get to. So instead, let's do some scrying. As we play Konrad. But I need something a bit better at this point. I will take the 2 this time. Nyx Lotus. Right, well, this isn't good. Not good at all. That being said, how much life do I have there? So 6 mana, so I have 2 mana left. If I want to eat all that food, I think I Gary and then eat 1 food. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be my game plan. Gary, eat 1 food. I can block the robber. That's 8. That's game. Actually, do it a slightly different way. I'm still dead, but... Ah, that hurt. They had just the right amount of removal at just the right times. Feels a bit bad. However, I still hold out hope. I don't think that was, like, that was nowhere near as terribly as it was performing originally. And this is going to be hardline control. Okay. I do like that Gutter Bones. I do like that Heraldic Banner. I would like something else just to be able to have 2 threats on the board for Teferi. And the opponent is going first. This is an awkward one. I think I keep it. Because at the very least I get to Gutter Bones and Herald. Yeah, there we go. There's... I need something 2 mana in the 2 mana range. Or another 1-drop. So now Teferi bouncing Gutter Bones.
I can no longer stand by and watch. I've got it.
Plus Teferi.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Well, there goes Gutter Bones. I can drop Konrad. Konrad probably gets answered. The goats are white. That's a little awkward. I think I drop Doom Whisperer since I can surveil for answers if necessary. Yep. I can Ritual of Soot that, so I've already got an answer. Let's get one of those. For now. So they can now plus the Pharaoh.
Here goes nothing.
And then they can bounce the Doom Whisperer. But then it burns the Teferi, they can replay it, they can bounce the Heraldic Banner. So they actually have quite an impressive turn here if they want. Yeah. Ghost Form I like. Eternal Taskmaster I like. I'll keep both of those.
I'll protect you.
Didn't play anything. This doesn't seem suspicious in the slightest. Okay, there goes 2 counter spells. And Woe Strider is ready to escape. Yeah. Konrad can get countered here. I'm fine with that. Because if they're keeping a counterspell up, knowing Woe Strider, yep, they expect to exile it. The sensible play would be to play Fairy, bouncing the banner.
Right on schedule.
Still have a counterspell up, potentially.
Might be a bad idea.
Gary, nice of you to turn up. So do they have another counterspell? It will really hurt if they do this time. It could be a quench. Nope, no counterspell. Okay, there we go. Teferi gets eaten. They can then still replay it, I'm pretty sure. But I'm fine with that.
I know my responsibility. Don't worry.
That's Banner again. That's also fine. They now have 1 mana up, so I now drop Doom Whisperer.
I've got time.
Alright, I could really use Blast Zone. Piper, creatures, they've not played any yet. Proliferate, nothing really has mattered so far. I'm 1 mana short of that. I've not got any swamps to play at the moment. I think I drop that. Keep that. So then I have 3 mana left. 6 mana currently up. We'll try and drop Erebos. Okay, that's fine. I just want to burn through as many of their counterspells as possible.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
That said, they can follow up. Oh, that's... There's their win con. Strider makes goat. It's awkward. I do need that 1 more land to properly make this work. They probably controlled me out of this game at this point quite well. Drop this, 3 mana. Nothing I can do. I take 2, ++. 6 mana next turn. Dread Horde. And then presumably they've got a board wipe to make everyone miserable. Then again, I think I want to play Gary first so that when they can Teferi and bounce the banner. They didn't.
Here we go.
Truth lies beyond vision.
I take 2. Okay, so I can try and Rankle. I can discard Grey Merchant. If I hit them, they'll hopefully destroy it with Ugin. or I can force the sacrifice, but then they get one of those cards. We'll go for it. I'll try and need to counter. Or removal, or something. Yep. So 2 cards left. I get a scry, that's... Okay, come on, both bottom. Unfortunately, I don't get to Grey Merchant as well.
Ether itself serves me.
That's more like it.
Yeah, they do get to... Okay, I'm going to Arcane Signet. Since if they don't have a counterspell for this, and they don't have one for Gary, hopefully Gary gets removed, and then I can Dread Horde. As much as I can. Which isn't going to be much at the current rate. Resolves. 2 life. I mean, if they have a board wipe, they get all of those cards into hand. Yeah. Oh, that. That's good game. We take out a soldier because we can. And yeah. Yeah, probably should have got for a more aggressive hand that could have dealt with Teferi immediately. But, oh well. So, I feel like it's performing better. That first game definitely did demonstrate exactly why the cards I wanted to add were added. So I'll look at tweaking it a bit more, playing a little bit here and there. But I am definitely happier with its current state than its previous one. So, with that in mind, I do hope you at least enjoyed the deck, and and maybe with Ikoria, the quest for Konrad's greatness will continue. I mean, as I said, I really want this deck to work, and with just these few games, it's not a real proper clear indication of whether or not it's going to be working really well or not. So I probably will be playing it off of recordings as well. And who knows, maybe it's actually a lot better than I gave credit for, and once again just got unfortunate. But if that happens, then I'll make another video on it. However, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Take care.